On today's episode of Let's Celebrate TV, it's my buttermilk biscuit recipe. Hi everyone, welcome to today's episode of Let's Celebrate TV. I'm your host, Peter Lee. Today we're going to be making buttermilk biscuits. This is my recipe. You may have yours, or you may know that there's lots of other recipes out there, but this is mine. What I like about this recipe is that it's very easy. You do it in your food processor, and it's very, very versatile. You can use these biscuits for breakfast, to have with your dinner. You could use them for an appetizer. You can even use them for dessert. So let's get started. We're going to start with our dry ingredients first. First up is 2 cups of all-purpose flour. And the way to measure flour is just to scoop it into a measuring cup with something smaller, because you don't want to pack it down. You just want to get the cup filled up. And then with a straight edge, like a knife, just level it off. It's important in baking to be exact. Baking is a science. Now, I've said to you before that I'm not a baker, but there are a few things that I can do, and this is one of them. Okay. And our other cup of flour. 2 cups. Next is a little pinch of salt, just a pinch. Next is a teaspoon of sugar. 2 teaspoons of baking powder. That's going to help it rise. And then half a teaspoon of baking soda. Now, why are we using both? Well, baking soda is going to help the biscuits rise, but since we're going to use buttermilk, which is an acid, we need the baking powder to help it rise because the acid will use up all the baking soda itself. And baking powder has baking soda in it, so we need both of them to get fluffy biscuits. Okay, that's our dry ingredients. Let's put the lid on. Just a quick pulse to mix these up. Just that fast. Next is our shortening. Now I'm going to be using lard today. I know, lard is a scary thing. It's really not unhealthy for you. You can use vegetable shortening or you could use all butter. It's up to you. I've used all 3, but today I'm going to use lard. This is just a half cup. This is the fun part. Measuring it out. Getting it in there. Okay. Again, just quick mix. Few pulses to break up that lard. Now it's looking almost a little sandy. The lard is starting to break up and get with the flour and make little granules, which is what we want. Now for the liquid, the buttermilk. I'm going to turn this on, drizzle in 3/4 cup of buttermilk. All right, just that fast, we have biscuit dough. So let's clear our decks and get to the next step. Okay, we need to put a little flour on the board first. Okay. Now let's get this all out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. The dough Goes right out into the flour. This is, again, the fun part. Careful with your blades. Okay. And we'll get rid of this too. A little more flour on top. So we can just kind of pat this out. You can use a rolling pin if you want. You can make these drop biscuits. I like to just kind of pat it out to about the thickness that I want. Okay. It can be a little messy, but that's okay. All right. On to our cookie sheet. I have here a selection of cookie cutters and biscuit cutters. You know, you can make several sizes. You can make little tiny ones, but I'm going to use plain old ordinary biscuit cutter today. So we're just going to cut some of these out. Just that easy. And they go right on the sheet. Yeah, we'll just keep bringing this dough together. Easy and kind of fun too. Pat it back out. I'm using a rather large cutter today, so I'll get 4 or 5 biscuits out of it. If you use a smaller one, like one of these, you'll get more biscuits clearly. It's also very easy to double this recipe and get even more. Okay, so here's 5. Simple, right? Okay, we'll put this aside. These are the scraps, we'll use these later. Now, into the oven. My oven is preheated to 400 degrees. Okay, these will go in the 400 degree oven for 15 minutes to bake up. Alrighty, we're out of the oven now. It's been 15 minutes. And here we are. Here we are. How do I know they're done? They're golden brown. They've risen nicely. Now my oven, it was exactly 15 minutes. Your oven, it might be 13 minutes, it might be 18 minutes. You're going to have to watch them, but you'll know, you'll smell them. You just need to start checking after like 10 minutes. Now, I can put these all in this basket right now and take them with some butter to my dinner table and we'd be done. But that's not what we're going to do today because there's so much else that we can do. How about a little savory application? We can just break one of these in half and see how easy that was. You don't have to cut them or anything. Now I have some cheese with wine in it that's very, very soft. This would make a great lunch. Okay, pardon my fingers. This would be a great little lunch or a great little snack. Easy as that. Okay, so a little cheese with a little red wine in it will make a nice little snack or little lunch. Next up, how about a little appetizer? We've got one here, and I have a little shrimp salad. Now, how nice would that be to have as a first course at a dinner party? Next is my favorite, dessert. I think you probably know where I'm going with this one. We have some strawberries. And we're just going to pile some in their juice. These have been macerating with some sugar and lemon. We're going to go a double decker because it's dessert. Why not? Okay. And then a little cream. Three ways to use these biscuits. Let's go taste. And here we are to taste. Decisions. Well, my husband mixed me a Cosmo here, so I think I'll have the dessert with the strawberries. Delicious and an early taste of summertime. So, how would you all use this biscuit recipe? You could do some seafood. You could have some cheese and have it for lunch. Or good old strawberry shortcake. I'd love to hear your ideas. Now, as always, we're going to put the recipe for these biscuits up in the video description on YouTube. And if there's any special products, we always put the links up as well. I want to hear from you. Ask questions. Tell me what you've done with this biscuit recipe. And remember, guys, hit that like button so everyone knows you like the episode. And subscribe. We don't want you to miss a single episode of Let's Celebrate TV. That's all the time we have today. Thank you for joining us. I'm your host, Peter Lee. Cheers!